before you start.
Gun. Hi, I'm Derek Bum. You itching gun.
I guess I just lost my husband. I don't know where he went.
New kitchen gun.
Something strange.
Hi, I'm Derek Bum. New kitchen gun. All clean again. Hi, I'm Derek Bum. Yeah, new kitchen gun. New kitchen gun. All clean again. Hi, I'm Derek Bum. Yeah, new kitchen gun.
Holy crap. That's awesome when you forget to freaking turn off the damn faces and the shit just starts acting up. Oh,
shut up. You did it on purpose.
Actually, I didn't. When the first one, I wasn't paying attention, and I look up and I said, freaking...
It may have been the funniest thing you've ever done, actually.
I was like, well, I can't change it now. It's staying on there. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's Plumes of Hazard. I am Mask Blast Safety 09. And here are my co-hosts. We have Fubaka with the ear plugs in. And featured in the intro, apparently. Only, you weren't paying attention. Did you see that? Only when you showed up. Shalanskaba, the Angst Vapor.
Bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah. Oh, man. What is happening?
Only when I showed up. What? No, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, you weren't looking, but for some reason, the intro had your face enabled on it, or that window.
Yeah.
And it flickered a couple times, and then it came up only when your guy showed up. I'm like, what?
It was super awesome. Actually, I didn't get it. It was.
Yeah, that's the only thing with Mandycam is it doesn't tell you where, like, what you have, enabled on the different.
Mandycam's always tilted.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit off to the side.
Just a little. Just a little. Just a little.
I laughed so hard when Grim popped up as kitchen gun. I almost threw up. I was laughing so hard. I started coughing, and I was like, oh, God.
Oh, shit.
So I learned a revelation over the other night.
You learned a revelation.
Well, it's not really a revelation unless you ate a lot of Taco Bell during your adolescence and in college.
Yeah.
I used to be hardcore into Taco Bell. I haven't eaten in a long time, but apparently they have these things called cheddar fries now. Apparently they're great. Cheddar fries. And
is that like the Andy Cap cheddar fries, like hot fries?
That would be fucking amazing, actually. More on that
I think
in
I
a
heard
second.
about this.
I like that idea. So, one of my favorite menu items was the spicy chicken crunch wrap. They got rid of the spicy chicken, and they've broken. My heart's been broken since. But apparently, you can get crunch wraps with the cheddar fries inside.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Went this other night because Senor Bigglesworth is another aficionado of Taco Bell that I did not know. He was more so about a fan of getting nachos on the side and like taking a bite out and stuffing the little nachos inside, giving it that crunch.
Okay.
Is there a commercial on the radio about that right now?
I don't
About
know,
those-
actually.
Kyle was just talking about a commercial for those
Oh, apparently there are commercials for them.
yeah.
Taco Bell usually has good commercials, speaking of. But yeah, dude, putting hot fries in a crunch wrap dough?
Yeah, I think this was. I'm trying to remember if it was a Taco Bell commercial, but it says something. It's like the commercial starts out and it says something about it's either a movie or a documentary or something about fries have hidden agenda or something or secretive. It's something.
Are they
talking
turning?
about
Are they
fries.
turning the potatoes gay? Like, what do they do?
No, it's
This is the frog.
and they play off on that, and I'm
Potatoes.
wondering if it's the cheese fries you're talking about.
I don't know. It's been at least a year and a half since I've had Taco Bell, which is a conservative estimate.
Pretty sure it's been a decade since I've been in.
Well, yeah, definitely it would be a decade for you because you got those other awesome taco places.
Yeah, you don't need to eat
Dude,
Taco
never
Bell. Well,
fucking go.
here's the
Yeah.
other thing.
Right.
When you're broke, Taco Bell's kind of great. You know, $5 gets you a lot of food at Taco Bell.
So that's to Master's point. I don't know how Taco Bell stays in business around here because there's a lot of places like that with better food.
With way better food.
Are they as cheap as Taco Bell though?
I would I would say Taco Casa probably is at least as cheap as Taco Bell. Now they have a limited menu,
right?
But the food is better.
I could probably get 3,000 calories worth of food for like $6 or $7 at Taco Bell. Just saying.
Yeah, so
Dude,
dollars
when
per quantity, dollars per calorie. Yeah, okay, maybe.
And my ask
I
doesn't
wanna-
exclude the average patron after eating
I
Taco
want to
Bell,
know.
so-
I want to see a breakdown chart of what happened to Taco Bell's earnings when they brought out the Doritos
the
shell
partnership. Yeah.
tacos. Dude, that shit must have gone through the roof. I mean, I've seen a bunch of them being built down here, refurbished. I mean, I know they're franchises, but still, you know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, they still
And
do
for the-
that. I remember seeing the commercials for that, but I've never had one.
yeah, they're still doing it. And now they have now if you're doing keto, this is someone mentioned this to me, but they have a breakfast that you can get that's a breakfast taco, and there's no shell. The egg, it's a fried, it's two fried eggs, and or egg whites, I should say, fried on the outside, and it's
How
not
feel
bad.
about that?
Do they have taco cabanas down there, Masty?
No,
You remember the taco cabanas we went to
yeah.
last time? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a pretty normal chain around here. That the breakfast tacos there just kick ass. They're so
Yeah.
good. They make their
Yeah.
own tortillas there. I mean, places like Taco Bell are cheaper than Taco Cabana, but the food it's not that much more. The food's way better.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I don't have an in-between place like that around here with Taco Bell, and then we have Chipotle and the more upscale places like Baja Fresh, which is great, but
That's not bad.
actually for like a traditional Mexican chain, it's about as good as it gets around here. And it's pretty good, and their salsa bar is pretty banging.
Mhm.
But that's like I'm spending like $14-15 there.
well, down here it's Chick-fil-A's are taking over. I mean, there was a few, but now it's almost one every exit.
Yeah, right.
And yeah,
Oh, that doesn't
Yeah.
surprise
Hey,
me.
man, if there's something to be taken over though, Chick-fil-A's all right.
dude.
It's right in the fast food game, man.
So they built them down here, and literally 6 months into it, you know, if you've ever opened a business, you know, these franchises, you got to put some fucking money up front.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this ain't your, oh, I got 50 grand, I'm going to throw at a franchise. No, this is hundreds of thousands of dollars. And 6 months into it, these fucking restaurants are tearing everything up,
Yeah.
adding 4 lanes, adding carports. There's one here that has a carport. Like, it is a covered area
Yeah.
for the fucking cars to drive through, so that way you don't get wet when it's raining. Multiple ordering windows. They run 3 lanes wide, 4 lanes wide sometimes.
And you get the guys and girls walking up and down the line to take in the orders and stuff.
Insane. Like the amount of cars that go through there. I mean, it literally backs up an intersection. At
Well, hold
lunchtime.
on, T-Bone Vapes. Where are you from, man? Because if he's talking about the Taco Casa I'm talking about, he's right. He said it blows Taco Bell away.
T-Bone Vapes.
T-Bone sounds like a good old Texas name.
Chipotle is high class. Fuck Chipotle.
Upstate.
Chipotle
I mean,
is garbage.
Chipotle is fucking shit.
It's not even really Mexican. It's not
No.
like they distinctly say they're mission
It's
style.
bullshit that comes in a bag.
I was
That
gonna
they
say like
throw in a,
Southwest Mission style, yeah.
it's bullshit that comes in a bag that they throw in a fucking hot water bath and plop it in there. It's nasty.
That's actually Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Well, yeah, but you know what? How many outbreaks of fucking whatever the hell Chipotle had, E. coli, as Taco Bell
Well, I
had?
survived the Taco Bell E. coli scare of 2007.
Here's-
Thank you very much.
Here's the reason. Well, everybody knows you're gonna shit yourself when you go eat Taco Bell. So whether you get E. coli or not, you don't know the difference. But
If you shit yourself,
Coming out of
you're
your
like,
baby.
oh, I ate at Chipotle. I'm shitting myself. It must be E.
if you
coli.
shit yourself after Taco Bell, you didn't do it right. You haven't eaten enough Taco Bell.
Oh, dude, he's in Funky Town. What up?
So the Taco Bell had an E. coli scare in 2007, and well, I had ninth period off that year, and me and my buddy, like my senior year of high school, I was there 2 to 3 days a week, and I'm full of fucking Taco Bell. I come home, mom's got the local news on, and Taco Bell E. coli outbreak. I'm just like, it was a Friday. I'm almost positive it was a Friday. It was like the worst start to a weekend.
Got him.
But thankfully, my local Taco Bell was not part of the affected stores. But it was a dark time. You couldn't get any vegetables at Taco Bell for like a month.
Is anybody a little disappointed that Duro is just Duro Sig 556R and not something?
What happened to Duro Sanchez? Duro Sanchez was my favorite.
Duro Sanchez, absolutely, but I was hoping somebody's gonna like Squonky related today. Is he Squonky?
Yes. Duro, welcome to being gay. You're a squonker now. Actually, Duro, tell me in chat, how are you enjoying your limo? I saw your post. I forgot to comment on it. But yeah.
Keep on Mate wants to know if you're in Texas.
Yeah, no, I was just telling him in chat. Yeah, I'm just north of Funky Town myself.
He's the whole state.
Yeah.
We gotta plan it. We gotta plan a get together soon.
Yeah.
With their coincide
yeah,
with a.
I was really hoping everybody would come out for that last showcase. It was pretty cool. Had a good time down there.
Duro says the limo is top notch.
Mhm.
Jacket on, never jacket off.
Man's not.
No ketchup.
Man's kind of cold today, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
a
hot
little chilly
again.
down here, but I dozed off a little earlier when I was watching TV, and you wake up and you get out of the blanket and you're like,
Man, so I just saw the post about. Did you see that video posted like 5 hours ago? A boy ate 3 laundry pods, Tide Pods, and this is what happened to his lungs.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that one in particular. We didn't talk about it last week, and I wasn't sure if we should. But we might as well talk about it because there was that one video of what's his nuts vaping on one.
I know, and he was in a dab rig where he put wax in, and he was basically heating it up, and then he took the Tide Pod and just squirted the shit in there, and he was vaping it. But something that I never even thought about. I thought that the biggest issue was the acidity of the detergent.
Well, it's probably the other way around, right? Isn't it basic?
No, it's acid.
Is it
Yeah,
acid?
people
I thought it was
people
alcohol.
doing it are basic.
Yeah, it's acid. So
Mhm.
they go through on this video, and Mad Men's Maker is the one who posted it. But anyways, it's like top number 3 on Reddit right now. But they go through and they tell you, I mean, this kid basically ate 3 Tide Pods, and then he was like choking, wheezing, couldn't breathe, trying to throw up. They take him to the hospital. He has tachycardia, and he fucking dies. Well, what happened was when he ate this stuff, they were saying that in a molecule level, the detergent is like they take a jar full of water and oil, and you can see it. It's not mixing. They can, it just separates. You put the detergent in there, and the detergent emulsifies the fat and the grease, and now it's all together, and that's how a detergent works. Well, they were saying that the detergents attract water and fat. Okay, on each side of those. If you're looking at the molecule, so they were saying that as he was drinking it, his esophagus all the way down to his stomach, you have fat cells and you have water, which moisture. It was basically pulling all that away, destroying his cells, and it was necrosis. So it killed everything all the way down to his stomach. And then as he's choking, he's breathing it into his lungs where there's moisture. So it was doing the same thing to his lungs. And then his O2 level went down. His heart was down and he just died. I'm like, fuck, that shit fucking tea. That shit not to play around with, man. What the hell? I was in Target like two weeks ago. And they were asking for ID to buy this shit.
Well,
yeah.
You kidding me? You know what's gonna happen? We're gonna have fucking shitty ass soap now because fucking retards are eating this shit.
The retards eating it.
I'm serious.
It'll pass. It'll pass.
No, it
maybe
won't.
not in Florida, but it'll pass.
You saw what happened to the bath salts.
Well, first of all, why are you using laundry pods in the first place? They're not as cost effective.
No, they're not. They're more convenient to use, but
they're convenient.
Well,
I have a top loader washer, so
they actually have more concentrated laundry detergent in it than you would with the normal laundry detergent measurement. So with one pod, you get. I mean, of course, they're more expensive. But yes,
because I can do more laundry with a half gallon of detergent though, as opposed to 32 fixed loads in a pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they concentrated it, and so I whenever they shifted to that, I don't know, mid 2000s, they started double concentrating the detergent. It's great. I get like fucking forever out of it, so long as it's like half a cup I have to use. It's quite nice.
Fishustian is saying soap is basic, just like lye. Yeah, I guess the mixture that they have in the pods is, I guess, more acidic. So, I don't know.
It could have been avoided if people actually drank bleach when it was
it's multiple. Yeah, it's multiple detergents in the pods. So you see the different colors. They're not just colored differently. But yeah, it's I don't know.
Hey man, it's
I was not crazy. Right? I was not crazy. Detergents are basic. They're alkali.
Yeah,
that's just not bad for you. That's just bad for you. Let's just leave it at that.
Either way, yeah. Either side of that pH balance, it's all bad. It's all bad. Yes, live.
Hey, Darwinism, right?
I can't. Can you imagine that dude vaping that shit? What the hell?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like I've seen people like dab like chapstick and shit, and that's like haha funny, right? Like chapstick is a calculated risk.
Only the pods remove the shit from my drawers. Need a lot more than pods to remove shit from my drawers.
Do you want to they want to shit roses. That's why they're eating Tide Pods.
Yeah. Yeah. You put those fart be gone pads in your undies, and then you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
That and not have a leather chair. That shit bounces right back at you.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Beacon pads, like
those are called the ball rollers. You roll right underneath your balls and then whap you in the face. Come to the front.
Caught him with the front.
Duro said that guy should vape brake cleaner. I like where this guy's thinking.
Yeah.
Oof.
Or fucking gearbox fluid. How about that?
Everyone's favorite.
Gearbox fluid is like some of the most impossible shit to wash off your hands. You're gonna
what's worse than gear oil is burnt gear oil.
Yeah. I was getting
off your skin
done on my old car, and my mechanic told me to dip my fingers in the burnt up oil, and I'm just like, this doesn't wash off easy, does it? He's like, nope. No, it does not. So yeah, I should dab it. We'll never get dry coughs again. Yeah.
Mm.
What am I vaping on?
Wow. What are you vaping on? Yeah, you got me.
I know that's where you're like, what was that thing we do at the beginning of the show? You must be tired, because I think we're all tired today. Anyway, I have a Limon, Narca. I have PB Moose from Coil Vapes in here. Here's the bottle. That's, where is it, Angsty?
Where is it? I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention.
No, I was holding up my imaginary bottle because I don't have it with me because I filled up on the dining table.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I got that from Dean. It showed up Saturday, so thank you, Dean. Vaping that right now in the Narca Limo. What I got going on today.
Nice. Nice. For me, so, and I'll briefly give you the layout of this last week. So last week, I told you guys I wasn't feeling that great, and my back was really hurting and just felt kind of shitty. Whatever. Went out there and realized that everything was hot, including my eyelids, as if I had been outside all day in the Texas heat. And
it's not hot.
And I stuck the little thermometer thingy in my ear, and it beeped, and I looked at it. It was like 103. I was like, oh, fuck. No reason. No wonder I was hot. So anyway, so I went to bed at a reasonable hour, like 2 or something that night, and just feeling shitty all night. Went to bed, got up in the morning, and then I don't really remember Tuesday. I pretty much slept all day long on Tuesday. Like I would wake up for like half an hour and pass out for 2 hours, and wake up for half an hour and pass out for 3 hours. It happened. It was all day Tuesday and most of Wednesday too, and had a fever up until I think Friday. It was crazy. It was crazy. I've never had the flu, but apparently I got the flu because of my fucking finger. So I was joking about my finger to my brother, and he had said that he had an infected nail when he was overseas, or when he just got back from overseas. Anyway, and it got so bad he had to go to the doctor or whatever, right? And as soon as he went to the doctor, he said, I got sicker than I have ever been sick in my life. So I was like, well, fuck, well, that just happened to me too. I think I was basically immunocompromised for a short time, and I picked up the damn flu. It was bad news.
Started with a finger in your butt, and now it led to the flu.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so I still sound like this, and I'm still going to be muting occasionally to cough my head off. But so that said, I haven't been vaping a whole lot lately because it's been a lot of coughing and a lot of mucal things. But I can still vape my my precious Gloom, my Limelight Gloom, unregulated MOSFET, Narda on top, Railcracker inside. And every now and then I tried to sneak in, if I had to run out and do something or whatever, I'd sneak in a little bit of this. Because while this would obviously make me cough, you have to vape less of it, right, to get a little nick in your system. And that's pretty much it. I haven't vaped much abolishment at all this last week. In fact, this week's probably dead because I haven't touched it in a couple of days. So there's that. I don't think we're going to talk about the stuff that we got today, are we?
Why not?
Because we haven't really used it.
But we can still show it.
I mean, there's this thingy, but I was going to talk about
that's what I was going to mention because I did put abolishment in this.
So did you put that rubber gasket back in actually, or am I cool to fill?
I took it out.
Okay. All right.
Wait, I think it's a rubber gasket compliance thing.
Right. All right. I'm going to fill that up. Gasket? Well, when I unscrew the thing, right, the coil doesn't come installed. So there's like a little rubber gasket in there that I pulled out, and I'm like, is this, I don't know what this is.
Wait, all the way down the bottom?
Yeah.
In the tank, yeah.
It was like on its side. I took it out, and I looked at the diagram, and I didn't see that gasket anywhere in the plan, the Death Star plan. So
what makes me think it's a DVD thing.
I left my white because you think it's for less size?
Yeah, I think it's for less capacity, so it fits into the TBD thing in Europe.
TBD.
But anyway, just so people have an idea what the hell we're talking about, we did get a package to show up from Anakin today, and it's got this ridiculous little thing in it.
It's so cute.
It's the size of 2 of my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
It's legitimately like smaller than 2 of my fingers. It's really, really tiny. It's basically a built-in little tank. There's a couple things that I'm a little oogie about. We'll see how it goes going forward because I just filled it up today. But you basically just take the top cap off. The top cap has the coil head on it, and you dump juice in here. Screw the head on.
Here's what the head looks like. What the cartridge looks like.
Nasty, does your cartridge like that? Does it rattle?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. Mine rattled, and I was.
It's a feature. So here's the cartridge. Okay, this is how small it is. Okay, and then here is the top of the mod.
Yeah.
Okay, and basically this guy screws in like this. Inksy, I think they have that so that way it can it can make contact all the time, depending on. All right. There it is installed. And then it goes into this guy.
Yeah.
So
I was really, really hoping that the tank that they sent in there was going to fit down in here, kind of like a little, an inexpensive, super tiny tosser stick. It unfortunately doesn't. It's like an all built in one thing. There's still some time that I got to do in here because I can't take big old drags of this because of my throat and lungs at the moment. It's real cottony, and it's been soaking pretty much all afternoon.
Yeah.
So kind of unfortunately in the Innikin head cottony range. But I am going to give it a whack because this thing, I don't see too many things that make a billet box look big. I mean, that's the best way I know to show the scale. It's crazy small. This thing's fucking tiny. So I hope it works. I definitely want to give it a whack because it's definitely.
So early impressions. So before the Phil and Dimitri tanks they sent us the Scion, the Toyota subsidiary. Let's see. And well, needless to say, I did not like it. I think that was the coil Massey took apart, and it was like wet, dried toilet paper for cotton. All right, so I haven't opened this yet. They sent us the Scion 2.
Yeah.
It looked like this, right? I guess we can open it up a little bit right now. Don't worry.
Horror, yes, it's a little lipo. I think it's 1100 mil.
1200, I think.
1200.
Yeah. Got the plastic. Don't worry. Unfortunately, there is no surprise artwork when I open this up.
Jero says I need some antibiotics. Well, if it was a fluid, that wouldn't have helped, unfortunately.
Oh, Scion's no longer they're a former Toyota subsidiary now?
I think they absorbed them. I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Well, in any case, let's see. Oh, no artwork on the inside. But anyway, that aside, this is not the part I'm interested in. RTA attachment.
Yeah.
Which, fuck it. Want to get into it? Let's get into it.
Yeah,
isn't this what all the cool kids like watching now? Is people opening shit?
Mm-hmm.
Struggling.
It is a big coil head. This little guy has got a big coil head, pretty low resistance for a little lipo. But unlike most of those little all-in-one things, you can actually open this thing up and do like a proper lung hit. Like it's
hot damn, 6 milligram. Woohoo!
Yeah, I was not dragging on that. That was a dry pull.
Speaking of 6, I'm
actually this is 3.
Back on 6, or moving back towards 6.
Oh yeah.
Well, because I don't drip it.
Did you get some of this mystery stuff for that's in 3 or 6?
Yes, I did. I got a visit from the fair. I got a visit from the fairy himself.
What did you think?
It's good. Good.
Wait a minute. Foo. You're doing an unboxing, but your camera is out of focus.
I was just gonna let him go.
No, I know, because dude, I've seriously just been wrestling with the tape on the packaging.
Yeah.
But man,
that RTA head is serious business. I think it looked huge. I didn't take it out yet.
Pull it out, and I'm assuming this is the ring that closes on top of the deck. Let's go look and get some closer images of my deck. Velocity style post. Big air channel. So the wicking is the juice channels. It looks pretty straightforward to build and wick.
It looks like there's got enough room for juice too. Damn.
No, this thing looks proper. I mean, how often do I get excited for an RTA deck on a coil tank? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably going to set this up tomorrow. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this quite a bit. I mean, there's not really much to this unboxing. I mean, it was just foam and shit.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that thing. I hope it does well. I've actually got a mod that I'm testing that I could use a tank that I could give a little little used to.
Pocket box packaging, however, I think we have some more Jimith art.
Uh-huh.
You see here, refill the tank. Let's see how good my backwards reading is. Please don't overfill. Please wait 5 minutes before vaping. Okay, cool. Replace the coil. Very straightforward. If anyone had a Joytech AIO box, it's very similar to that, I found. They sent us more micro USB cables. I've got like a stack of Anakin micro USB cables, so I'll never have to buy one again. I'm sorry, Anchor.
Buy one again.
Sorry, Anchor. I love your shit, but costs money, even if it's cheap. But yeah, you know, they send all the extras and stuff.
That there was a lot of extras in that little.
Yeah, there was.
However, one gripe: there was only one coil that came in the package.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I mean, regardless of how this works, you got to include an extra.
I do agree. Most of their tanks come with one installed and one spare, and this one didn't. It just had the one spare outside.
It didn't have any extras in the. Oh no, it didn't.
Did they send a pack of coil? I don't have all the stuff down here with me.
They sent the whole pack of coils.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like this.
But for someone who's just buying the unit itself, it should have an extra coil IMO.
Yeah, well, shops should be at least saying, you know. That's good times. I better stop before I don't fucking sleep.
Yeah, no good there.
Yeah. Well, you'll be hearing about this from me next week, most def. So, thank you, Anakin. Dwayne. I believe Dwayne's our man at Anakin.
Or Dwayne's good man. We appreciate it. It's good stuff. And to answer, we have a question in chat about what tank this was. I was gonna pull the box out. It's over here somewhere. It's this one. It's the Scion Took Dose from Manigan. And I did pull it up. They do have it listed on their page, so it's not like this is super early. I think they've got them available. No, I didn't look for the RTA head. I don't know if that is new or not.
You have to be a aficionado of gold chains and slick back hair to get in on early shit with Anakin, don't you know?
Probably.
What? So, are we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about the exploding mod.
I've got one exploding thing to talk about tonight.
One explode.
Is it the one with 3 batteries in it?
Oh nope, this is a different one.
Okay. Well, shit.
Well,
let's do it live.
You want to do? I'll do this one. You do yours.
Okay, go.
So, if in case you think that that you're a pirate,
oh shit, here we go.
This is a bad idea. So, you know, we've talked at length, Lasty in particular, and also, of course, Battery Mooch. I've talked in length about how to handle LiPo batteries and what happens to them and how non-bulletproof they are. LiPos are very sensitive, and they're especially sensitive to temperature and pressure and breaking their outer protective casing. This guy apparently decided to test his phone battery by biting it because he thought he was a pirate or something. But this guy right here, right there, this guy.
Oh, shit.
Boink.
Holy shit.
Boink. Like,
damn.
You know, you might think that this is okay. Yeah, this is something else, whatever. But you can literally see him put it in his mouth and like crunch. Like you can watch him do it.
Okay.
And look at this first guy. Please take this down.
Like
the eating fuckers will go nuts over this challenge.
I remember. So the YouTuber Photonic Induction did a thing of like one of his recent videos because I'm pretty sure he's dead at this point. I haven't put out a video in months, but he literally did put out a video specifically saying don't poke a lithium polymer cell, and he took a skewer out in his backyard in a controlled environment and poked it, and it fucking went coughing the whole nine. And then the second one, he bent it about, thought he could split it and get it to pop, and it didn't. But you know what he did? He agitated it. So he poked it, and a bigger boom, and more smoke. And this motherfucker did it in a store, around people, and his teeth.
In his mouth. That's right in his face.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. That was the one I thought you were talking about, Massey.
No. So let me pull this up. I don't know why I keep going over there. So basically, this guy posted. Here we go with pictures on Reddit, and I'll just talk and go through the pictures. He said, "PSA: check your battery wraps. Almost blew my hand off today." There's the first one. Here we go with the next.
Oh my god!
And we got some more.
Good. That's an ugly curtain anyway.
That's the shower.
Massey,
this happened. He's dropping a deuce.
Massey, get an intro. We have somebody entering the house that we need intro music played for.
Oh shit!
Right in the middle of his segment. God, where is Manus?
I know. Seriously. All right. So that's about all I got right now.
That's fine.
Yeah, funny. He comes in when shit's exploding. And here's another one. This is in his shower. And there's another one. And no, he was not vaping while in the shower or vooping. He said he was lucky that he was just somewhere where he could,
so he was adoring himself in the mirror when this happened?
Yeah, I guess. So, and he basically said, I was not vaping in the shower. That's just where I threw it when it exploded in my hand. Just glad I was near this contained non-flammable area at the time. If I'd thrown it on my carpet, it could have been a house fire. I never overcharge my batteries. I don't mix and match. I don't leave it out in the heat or under pressure, and I don't charge it with a USB. However, I did notice some fraying around the edges of my battery wrap a few weeks ago and figured, no big deal. It's not that bad. Never again. Do not use frayed battery wraps.
Fix the crack and grout while you're at it too.
So
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that melted battery cap on that Rolo. Damn.
Yeah. You know what's interesting here is look at the screws. Look how close proximity those screws are to those batteries.
Oh, yeah. Looks like it's hitting the positive part anyway.
Well, maybe
positive.
Okay, maybe those screws were encased in something before it exploded.
Maybe.
Like it went down a threaded barrel that is now RIP.
Yeah. So, man, them fuckers had some power too. They're still shitting themselves after they went flying.
But I want to know, the battery wraps literally like evaporate because I don't see like any evidence.
Yeah.
No. So when you hard short a battery, like you see, like the wrap is the first thing to start to go before it starts smoking.
Yeah.
It just disappears before your eyes. It's kind of amazing.
Either that or he had clear ones. I mean, you could see this one. It's kind of got like something on it. You see it on the right-hand side. So, but man, we're talking about thermal runaway. Yeehaw. You know what it reminds me of? Like, this thing looks like it sat there and did circles. One of those fucking Chinese little things you light up.
Or a bottle rocket that didn't launch and it's just fucking shooting at people.
Probably way less funny, but it probably did the same thing.
It's funny for us.
Yeah.
Funny for other people. That's right.
You ruined your bathroom.
I do have one piece of sad news for the evening. Here is the piece of sad news that I have. I will share my screen. Vapor Art is announcing that they are going away. After 6 years of making mods for the National Vapor Community, we're shutting down Vapor Art. Which is really sad. These guys made some really nice mechs. Some really nice mechs back in the day. So that kind of sucks. But I was looking around to see if they had anything for sale, any closeouts of a Paps X or something, because I probably would have bought it just for old time's sake. But they don't really. I think they may have had some steroid stuff. But
yeah.
They've been around for a long time.
That was that thing I posted in our group earlier this week that I saw on the Instagrams. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
Master, you ready for a short crucifixions?
Yeah, I'm ready. Maybe I'm not ready.
That's why I'm doing the drum roll, man. I anticipated this.
Nope.
Nope.
Go.
There it is.
This is it for this week, man. Now, here. Okay.
Oh my god! Don't let
We have the
freezers
Pink
do
Ranger.
that.
We have the Pink Ranger. We have the Blue Ranger. With the black, we got the Black Ranger, the green one, and the red one, but no Yellow Ranger. I wonder if they're playing off a cue of the fact that the actress who played the Yellow Ranger IRL died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Is that like a subtle like?
Yeah, that's why it's not there.
And this is in Indonesia. Artha Ranger.
Is that a fingerprint of something? Dude, you're killing me with scrolling.
It looks like an ancient fingerprint.
You have the pan roasted chicken saved also on your bar.
Right, dude. I made it last week. It was dope.
I got the experimental all-purpose keto flour album saved on there.
I also have a Szechuan. Oh, this is a ramen recipe. Yeah, gotta try that.
One.
Yeah, I love ramen. Love the Mets.
Horrible.
But yeah, I saw that just out of the blue, and I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ! No juice this week. I'll just do that.
It's true. I have. I do have one more thing to talk about. Vaping related, but I have one thing not vaping related that I didn't have ready. So after finishing off the ones that Craig sent a long time ago, I did order some digestives myself because he sent like a couple of different like rolls. And it's taken me I don't know how many months to eat those digestives. So I bought the chocolate ones.
Ooh.
So the other ones were nice, just like for a little, nice little snack. These things are ridiculous. These things are.
I still have a problem with the name though, because digestives is something that you put into a septic tank down here.
Yeah.
To digest the fucking shit.
So my wife, I think, is caught up with the same problem. She says they're not that great. They kind of taste like a bad graham cracker, and they got a really bad name, like a really bad.
Yes.
No, they literally help you poop.
These chocolate ones though.
You don't like the chocolate ones?
No, they're good. They're unfortunately good. Like I can sit down and eat like way too many of those, I'm sure. Man. So that's that was one thing. So I've enjoyed those this last week. I think I sat down and ate in 2 sittings. I probably ate, I don't know, like 8 of them or something. They were good though. I do have a cool piece of news from somebody that you may not have heard from recently. I'm still trying to get a hold of the link, and they're not. Ooh. It's not letting me copy. Oh, there we go. Friggin' like.
While you got that going up, I'll drop a quick one.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We almost covered this. It's been a few days, but there was a Beverly Hills flavor ban, Stefan posted.
Mm-hmm.
He did,
and basically said, the item was number 6 on the agenda, and a bunch of parents asking about the juuling, and all kinds of stuff. But basically, they decided not to go for the flavor ban and not to make the changes to the existing TRLs and laws, citing how many did not feel it was a priority. This is to offset the rhetoric from LA Department of Health and the city staff report implying that everyone is doing flavor bans, so we should too. The highlight of how the tax increases from the past year are increasing funding to tobacco control organizations, which is why they're seeing such aggressive approach on flavor bans being pushed. It's all about the money, folks. So,
you gotta make some money to pay your children to come vape in their advertisements.
Yeah, they need to get that money to get kids to vape Tide Pods. But in the end, he concludes with they learned a few things about the very misguided opposition, like getting addicted from secondhand vapor and this activity known as smoking e-pens. Oh, and that vaping reached popularity in 2005. So
one thing we have to cop to those vapors, the memes are true.
Yeah.
So I just took a couple pulls off this thing.
Yeah.
This thing chucks.
It does. That's what I was saying, man. You can open that thing wide up.
Oh, dude, this thing. The Nard has a mute next to this thing, though.
I had to mess with my airflow a little bit because it did whistle at first as well.
The whistles go.
I mean, these coils probably gonna take a handful of pulls to break in. That's fine, but we got this far. Yeah, so I switched. I'm moving back up to 6 milligram.
Yeah.
Oh, like essentially, like I don't drip on. I haven't dripped on a 0.1 in forever, so I'm like in that 30-ish wattage range, and 3 is not cutting it for me long term. At least my observation since the summer, when I was basically exclusively squonking. So Dean sent over some juice, and I told him to send it over in 6. Thank you, Dean. By the way, I went upstairs and got my bottle. I left it on my dining table. It looks like. I mean, it kind of looks like it's the same mousse from the Kokomo bottle. This is pretty fresh, and I'll say this: it is fucking smooth in 6 milligram. You're thinking, what's a PB mousse? Peanut butter mousse. For those who tried Kokomo, it's a mouthful. Coconut macaroon mousse RY4. This is just the mousse part and peanut butter, which in turn, it tastes like a nutty mocha. A light one, and smooth. It reminded me of DB Liquids when he years ago, back before the Google Hangouts, when he made maize and mocha. He was trying to make a chocolate cake, and he added peanut butter to it. Ended up tasting like coffee. Don't ask me how that works on a molecular level, but it just did. So I've been vaping this since this afternoon, and it's nice. I wouldn't consider it an all day. Rotatable, absolutely. So it's nice. It was nice to have a new desserty vape that I haven't tried with last sip of coffee. And by the way, Southeast Asian instant coffee, good shit. You can get your hands on some, get some. But yeah, it was good. And he sent over this pain in the ass of a bottle to open of this one reserve. Yeah, you have to, for those who don't know, and I think we've gone over this before, if you have after 120 mils, chubby gorillas are your worst fucking enemy. And they're a pretty big cunt in 120s, but you have to palm it, like put it on the table, palm it like pretty good. And you can get if you have like fat hands like I do, you can get a grip around and just pop. It'll pop. Scrap.
Skibbity pop pop.
But yeah. Yeah. So this is pretty good. And it's really smooth in 6.
Good.
This one in 6 I can taste a little bit. I can taste that bite, but whatever. See, I grew hair on my chest in those few weeks, so
hot.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Right on. So we had somebody in chat from Australia just a minute ago, so I've got some local news for them. A company that's been around for a really long time has got a new thing coming out, which I'm a little intrigued by. I'm going to share my screen. Here we got good old Atmazoo is putting out a billet box addy. Check that shit out.
Ooh.
So to me, it's the only information I've got right now, except for I know it's going to be 60 euros. So it's 60 euro, and it's coming out in the next couple of weeks. We've got a variety of airflow kind of pins you can put inside here to kind of reduce the reduce or increase the air down to 2 millimeter, all the way up to I think 4. Yeah. Well, the largest thing is 3.5, but if you take the pin out, it's 4. So there's like this appears to be some sort of 510 thing for pulsing your coils, which, as you know, if you've been watching me talk about the Exoset for I don't know what, a year. That's something that I find very valuable for a billet box heady, because it's something that's difficult to do in a billet box, to get your coils pulsed and set up right before you mount it in there. Now, the comments that I've seen around say that the 2 millimeter disc plus the airflow control does bring it down to a good mouth to lung, so I know that part. And then the other thing that we were looking at it, and I think actually Aaron noticed this first, as they were talking about trying to figure out where it wicks, and it looks like we've got a hole here and a hole here. And being the billet box, the way it sits down there, that means that this is the very bottom of the tank. So that means it's pulling its liquid out from the very bottom of the tank. So you're not going to have any leftover liquid sitting around in your boro and not being able to vape it. So
Inksy, one of the things with that though is how much space is this leaving in the tank?
Yeah. So
that was
that's pretty big.
My first impression was, yes, that does look big.
That spans most of the burrow width-wise.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was something that was leveled against the Exoset as well. And that is, let's do close-ups. Stop.
Hammer time.
Stop hammer time. So by the time we put the Exoset, that's what it looks like. And the Kanger one, if you use the bridge, the Kanger one is a little bit wider but shorter.
Yeah.
And the one by what is it? The Insider. The Insider is pretty tubby as well in there. So that said, that one doesn't look that bad. It looks pretty comparable, and it still has plenty of liquid in the tank. Like, yes, it does displace some, but it's an easy refill anyway, and there's still quite a bit of liquid left in there. I think it'll be all right. DRB K-Fun 5 airflow reducers work in the Exoset. Yes, they do. If you're one that wants a mouth to lung, you can plug those little reducers in there from the K-Fun 5. That is true. Anyway, so I'm kind of intrigued by the thing. I might pick one up. For €60. That seems awfully reasonable for a billet box atomizer made by Atmazoo, which they do a pretty good job with their machining.
They made the Dingo.
Yeah. They made the Dingo and the Roller and all those old mechs. Now they have put out a couple RTAs in recent memory over the last few months. They put out a couple of them, and I didn't pick any of them up because I wasn't particularly it was a baby tanks. But to try a new billet box Addy, that might be pretty cool, because I personally really like the Exoset. The Insider works really well, but it needs to be wicked perfectly before you install it there. You don't know if it's wicked perfectly until you install it and start using it. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. This one looks like it might suffer from the same problem, but at the same time, you can't buy an Exoset. Hellfire hasn't put out a new batch in a while, and you can't get an Insider. But there's not very many billet box Addies out there that you can just get a hold of these days, which is what makes me want to kind of try this. Not to mention the €60 is a pretty reasonable price. So I'm thinking about picking one up. We'll see. Anyway, but I want to share that with you because I thought it was really cool. I'm glad to see Atmazoo is still kicking around and putting out neat stuff. All right, so that's done. I can't tell you about
asks, do they sell direct? Well, it's in euro. They're charging euro, which means I don't think they are.
You don't think they're what?
Selling direct if you're paying euros for them. I think they're selling them out of Europe, I'd imagine.
That is a good point. I didn't really think about that because they're not. It's not like part of the EU or anything. That's why would they be charging in euro?
Yeah, they don't use the euro in Australia, do they?
That's what I'm saying. They're clearly not part of the continent.
Yeah,
clearly. Every time he hears Exoset, I think of the Mazda
Miata death card covers.
Yeah. Or the missile, right? I mean, all of Hellfire's stuff are all named after missiles or warships, I think, are the other thing that they do. Will, you're right. They're not up on the site on atmazoo.com. They're on their Facebook page.
I'd imagine, because shipping out of Australia must be a pain in the dick.
It is a little bit. I mean, obviously the Hakus. That's one of the reasons why they use local people.
Yeah.
To do that, right? Because it's kind of a pain to get stuff out of there.
And it's really solid of them to do that too. And the thing is, they can, and for them, cost-wise, to do that, it's effective because they pump out so many units. Like how many? Like when they do a run, it's like 300-400 unit runs.
Yeah, it's a couple hundred units, absolutely. Yeah.
So good on you, Haku.
Yeah.
I could pick my nose while I'm hitting this, dude. Like,
you can pick your nose while hitting it. Hold on, let me click on you. Yeah, look at you. Very talented.
I'm actually on my nose while I'm picking it. You wouldn't know I was vaping. This thing's awesome. Dude, this is coming to the grocery store every time now.
Right. I think I may drain the abolishment out of here and put some salts in it and restrict the airflow down or something.
6 milligram. This one tastes pretty good in here.
Yeah. Ooh.
God damn, this thing's cloudy.
Hello.
Fuck. I'm already halfway through the tank.
Yeah. I was wondering about that too. The big thing that I wonder about is refilling. Was it Will that said that earlier? He was asking about something, and I said that was something I was worried about is a partial refill of this, since the coil head is what you take out. And
you have to fill it up to the line and then dunk your thing in.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if you've already got e-liquid in it and you're going to kind of top it off before you go to the grocery store, you're going to pull the top cap off. It's going to be soaking in e-liquid and then refill the thing and then try to put it back in there. It might be kind of messy. We'll see.
Brandon says, what is that? This is the thing we're talking about at the beginning of the show, the little pocket box we got sent to us. Like, I think all of us got our Inikin shit today.
Yeah.
It was surprising to me. I didn't check my messages, but it was supposed to come tomorrow, or at least it's scheduled to come tomorrow. I actually didn't know it was from Inikin until it showed up.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same label, but yeah, this thing's adorable. Like, I can just.
Yeah. Will said he was wondering about the sloppy. That's right.
Can't see it.
Yeah, that's what I was joking. It's the size of 2 of my fingers. Just kind of funny. Yeah, it's a neat idea. I'm curious to see if it's going to stand up to practical use and if it's going to be too messy. We'll see. I will be interested to see because it's definitely a cool little guy.
Short errands, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have an update.
Eddie says it was a bit messy, but not as bad as an AIO.
That I can probably get on with because the AIO box, if I remember, the threads sometimes I would think it was a QC issue. Pain in the dick to catch when you're screwing it back on. It wouldn't thread right. Shorting, like I liked them. I think the stick ones had a better track record than the boxes.
Yeah. DRE said the $1 million question is are the coils old Inokin or new Inokin quality?
Well, the flavor's already leaps and bounds ahead of what I've had previous. I mean, putting a custard in here, which is, easy in the flavor, and it's pretty good. Like I said, time will tell. This is like my first hour using it. I'm going to take it out and about tomorrow and when I run short errands and such. So, and the button's rubberized, which is actually kind of nice. Just noticed that.
Yeah, it is. It's in kind of a funny spot. I mean, clearly, I'm still clicked on you. Clearly, I'm a big fan of top buttons. Top buttons are great, but this one is so small. It's actually like I think I'm about to try to figure out some way to hold it
like this, and then top just.
It would take a little doing, I think.
Okay, if you're a guitar player, it won't be an issue.
Yeah, I can go track down my mini volt. The mini volt's definitely more narrow than this by a bit, but this has got the atomizer built in, right? So it's the tank is inside of it. So I would agree with you that the form factor is better than the mini volt.
That's another way I just devise is just a single finger wrap around and then thumb.
Maybe.
Bang.
Boom.
Bang. But I'm like, your hands are also substantially larger than mine, so
wider anyway. Yeah.
Sausage here.
Oh. Well,
actually, I still have your mini volt, motherfucker.
You didn't trade it for hookers?
No. I have standards. I lent them the limo for the night.
That's right. per that thread in the Poe group, you could have traded it for some Ultimate accessories or whatever, because we know that they look as attractive as a $6 hooker. So yeah,
I think I go with the hooker over the Ultim $6 hooker.
Yeah, I could at least hang out and like talk to her for a while. Then you won't catch anything that way.
I'll smoke a cigarette with her and not get
there you go.
involved.
Yeah. This conversation took a weird turn.
It did. We don't really talk about hookers often, so
yeah.
At least that's what I'm doing next time I'm in Amsterdam.
Yeah. Boy. So I think that's all I've got. I do have a thing or two coming soon. Let's see. Is that going to be in for next week? I'm looking at my tracker. Maybe not. Maybe not. I've got a couple of things coming in, and I'm pretty stoked about at least one of them, if not two of them, coming in. But they're not. I don't think they're going to come in the next week or two, which is too bad. Hey man, a $6 hooker in Hartford will get you whatever you want, and herpes, the gift that keeps on giving.
To which I replied, would it be a whaler of a herpes? I'm poking fun at the hockey franchise that used to be in Hartford. I knew a friend of my, one of my friends, college friends. He's a very emotional, tear-jerked Hartford Whalers fan, and I thought my buddy was joking when he said he if he's drunk and you bring up the Whalers, he's gonna get. He did. He was in town, talked with him about the Whalers, and he started crying a little bit. I was like,
my bad.
ooh. Yeah. Hockey things. Sports puck.
I'm out of things to talk about. I need some medicine and some sleep soon, I think.
I'm gonna eat some fucking wings this weekend. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh.
Super Bowl this weekend.
Not just regular wings.
It's my brother's housewarming / Super Bowl party. Like, get it all done in one shot. Well, I go to his place every year for the Super Bowl. So.
Oh, they settled on a place. They're in.
Oh yeah, they moved in at the beginning of the month. That's how I got my new desk. I can actually knock on wood. The last shit was part of the board.
Is Mooch still in chat?
I don't know.
Did he fall asleep?
Any of you guys going to Vape Northeast at Foxwoods? I hope to be there. My schedule is so fucking up in the air the next couple of months, so I hope to. If at minimum, I hope I should make a day trip. At minimum, I should be there for the day. So, as for partying and such, I'm not sure, but I think I can make a day trip happen with a few of my cronies from the area.
Someone said something I noticed with Mooch's videos. This was posted by Level 5 Loki. It says, he isn't standing there chucking huge clouds. If he did, it wouldn't change a thing. His videos are grade A. I feel confident enough to try a mech now. It gives a very professional feel to his videos. You can show them at a vaping lawsuit court hearing to show that we are trying to be as safe as possible. So
that's actually not a bad idea, because obviously we have plenty of YouTube evidence of people being goobers vaping. It would be kind of cool. It is kind of cool having at least a little bit of stuff that's out there of somebody that's actually approaching it relatively intelligently, and yeah, that's cool. And plus, if they went to show this show, they'd just be all fart jokes anyway. So, getting really memes and fart jokes.
Wait, did they pull the "he doesn't vape like us" argument?
Yeah, he said. Mooch replied in that, and he said, "I do the videos in the same room as a test gear. Most of that stuff has internal fans, and there's no way I'm coating the inside of all that equipment with juice. So no vaping in that room." So, it's smart. So, I don't know if anyone's actually done a test or something to show what amount of buildup comes up after vaping in the same room. I mean, we know, but it isn't anything scientific. You know,
ask dog mods.
Yeah, ask Angsty. I mean,
Yeah.
Shit, that was as bad.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't short out his fucking motherboard vaping.
No.
I mean,
I just half ruined my display.
Yeah, that's.
But by the way, that's back, Masty. That my problem has resurfaced.
Is it okay?
It seems like it takes a year and a half.
About a year, yeah.
And what you need is one of those. They have like basically like a computer fan, like 120, 140 millimeter, like desktop fan, just like a little one. Just have one just blowing, just away from your monitor.
I do. So all of my computer is over this way, display this way, and there's not much this way. So when I am sitting here working, I do tend to vape that way. But my office isn't that big. I mean, it's like 12 by 12 or something. Granted, I've got 11-foot ceilings or whatever, but still, it's not. It's basically a hot box. You know, I've been here all day, especially if I'm testing out a new dripper or something. It gets a little cloudy up in there. And I did get some buildup in the monitor. That was a show from a long time ago, but I was able to fix it, which is cool. But my wife does get on to me. But the fridge doors that we've got here in the front of my office, they're obviously glass panes all over the place. And when she walks by, when it's daytime and it's pretty bright in here, she walks by and she looks at me and I'm kind of all blurry. She's like,
"See, Duro's like a HEPA filter, like one of the jobbies I got on all the time. You probably wouldn't need as big a one. You can get like a little air purifier thingy."
Yeah, but then what that means is then I have to run it, and then I have to deal with the noise, and then I have to change out the filter all the time. I'm not going to do any of those things.
Dude, I change out my filter twice a year on this thing, and the little desktop ones are even quieter. I think Biggles has one in his office.
Yeah.
It becomes like background. It becomes like background noise, and even like the smaller ones are probably even quieter than this one.
I'm not sure if anyone that we got watching is currently in Hawaii, but I saw something else pop up. There's a bill coming up banning online tobacco purchases that was just reintroduced in Hawaii. Basically, it's a SB 2654 introduced in the state's House of Representatives last session. It was approved with amendments by the House Committee on Health. It was never heard by the House Committee on Consumer Protection. Basically, it's going to do additional 6 supporters says adds e-liquid to the definition of tobacco products, which would make all provisions of the cigarette tax tobacco law applicable to e-liquid as well. The license fee for wholesalers and dealers at the retail tobacco permit fee would also increase. For retailers, it would go from $20 to $50 per year. While the license for a wholesaler or dealer would go from $250 to $250, so $2.50 to $250. While neither have issued a statement on the bill, both Hawaii Cigar Association and Cigar Association of America opposed the bill that was introduced in 2017. So something else to keep an eye on.
I wonder. I'm sure e-cigarette's all over that.
Yep. So
Fessie's asking. Why is it a standard thing that everybody does when you're doing a vaping review? Why do people sit there and vape? So I would agree. I think that's goofy. I think what I tend to do is I'll take a drag or two at some point, but that's just because I'm sitting here talking and I'll just vape while I'm talking or whatever. But there are definitely reviewers that will sit there and like vape and talk a little bit and vape. Well, that's a waste of time to me, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's like they have to legitimize the that they're doing a review and that they have to be vaping for the review to be legit. I mean, honestly, for your review to be legit, just don't have cracked knuckles and need lotion. Honestly, you know.
Drink electrolytes.
You know what? Smoke a cigarette during your review. That's what you should be doing. Pull a pack of Pall Malls out of your slave and be like, "Yeah, this Addy vape's all right." What do I think of it? Well, I'm not vaping on it right now, am I?
You know what's funny, Ahmed? Did you smoke not on regular but clove?
Yeah,
cigs?
Hell yeah,
I did.
Okay. So did you see a few? I can't find it. But a few weeks ago, the guy was asking about clove flavorings and like flavors, and somebody put up like I can't find the thread or not, but somebody put up a mixture that I don't think was gonna make clove flavoring. It was
They
the
have
weirdest
tobacco
shit.
flavor. Yeah,
It had like tobacco ash and something else, and the other one was called like ashtray or something. They're like, oh no, it's gonna give it it's gonna give you the real.
okay. Not to flex too hard, but I may or this is back when the cloves still came in 20 packs before they consider them cigarillos.
Yeah.
Did you ever just smell the pack? Just smelling
It's fucking
the pack was
great.
like
It was great. They had the
I
black
love it.
packs and the white packs too, and they were both great. I smoked a pack, dude. Straight up, I just the cloves were something I would buy and would have on my desk, and I'd smoke the pack over. They'd be like in betweens. I'd have.
They're in betweens. Yeah, it's not something you can sit there and just
Except
take all day. Yeah.
Except when you forget to get your main cigarettes on your way out, and you smoke a whole pack of blacks at night out at the bar.
Yeah. It's a little rough. Those Sampornos, I really like the Samporno blacks. Those are so good. But that's actually one of the reasons that, and I tease my wife because I can't stand that thieves cleaner that she uses because it's clove scented. Or it's got a bunch of stuff going on, but clove is one of the things that I hate it. And one of the reasons I hate it is because it smells like that, and it messes with my head. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that whole flavor profile anymore because it just.
Dude, they had I remember they had rum flavored ones.
Yeah.
Oh, those were freaking amazing. I think they were like rum leaf or something like that. But yeah. I think it was Jerem's.
Dejarum, yeah, Dejarum blacks, Dejarum reds.
Yeah, Megan Knox said that his was the cherry. And
I didn't like the Dejarum as much as I like the Samporno. Those were better too.
Yeah.
Dejarums were great with mixed drinks like gin and tonics or even gin martinis. Yeah. It was a good hard liquor cigarette. I mean, beer's whatever. You can smoke anything with beer, but that was like my jam.
I didn't know they had a menthol one.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah.
Real talk. I need to get my hands on some. I will smoke one for science. I really will.
I'm gonna go buy a pack tonight.
I'll go to the right art school and find the right person who has them. Like, yo, you got one of those menthol cloves?
Yeah, filtered clove cigars, menthol.
Nat Sherman's cigarillos. I don't know if they still make them, but those are pretty good too.
So you can get what? It comes with a pack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 packs of 12, $40.
No,
38% off.
Josh Harper said, "I was sergeant of my old Marlboro group." Did I ever tell the Marlboro shirt story, Angsty, on the show? I don't remember if I did.
I don't know if you did.
You know the Marlboro shirt story.
Yeah.
So, for those who haven't heard, but my dad ran a pharmacy back in the day and sold cigarettes because that's what pharmacies do. And as a result, we carried Marlboro shit. We get sent all the promo shit. So I had an aluminum Marlboro sign that I donated to my college radio station because we, like, 3/4 of us smoked. So that was great. But I think they sent us a denim jacket too, like a proper denim Marlboro jacket.
Shit, is that right?
We found that like a couple of years ago when we were cleaning out the house. We have it's tucked away somewhere, but I feel like the right day I got to put it on. I'm pretty sure it fits me. It might be a little big. There was also like the cowboy shirt with like the suede collar and the cuffs on the sleeve, and it was like a shit shirt, and it had a fucking Marlboro, like a big Marlboro thing on the back. My mom thought, good art smock. I don't got to spend money on your dumbass. Here, take this. Where does your smock? And it was a good smock, right?
Sure.
Well, our teacher, who was the product of too much smoking and tanning of the 60s, 50s, and 60s, like
Leatherface,
the epitome of it. Like, have a deep voice, and she had the big clacky fucking fake nails. Like, she wore like fucking macaroni necklaces sometimes too, and shit. Like,
She's the one who called my house. She called my house and was like, it was wearing on advertising tobacco. I'm like, yeah, hindsight, it was whatever, but it was a practical smock.
Practical smock.
Yeah.
I was not a Marlboro guy.
Wear it next show. Dude, I'm not digging that. I'm okay. Knox, I'm not digging that shit up for you. I'm not. Not. Just no.
I was a camel guy.
Those are I was
Camel
off and on with
Special
the camels.
Camel Special Lights were my jam for a long time until they discontinued them.
The Turkish ones are good. The wides. I was very fond of the wides.
Well, once they got rid of the special lights, I went to wides. That's what I smoked for a long time.
But the Turkish silvers, golds, royals, those are probably the best smelling cigarettes on lit. Where you just
yeah, and that's what did it for me. My buddy, whom I hung out with all the time, was a Marlboro guy, and he smoked those what are those things called, the 68s or whatever, the shorts.
72s Marlboro, or are you talking about Camels? Yeah, the Marlboro had the 72s. It was 72% of a standard cigarette.
Yeah. They're short. And the funny thing about this guy is he was like 5'5", and like 100 pounds soaking wet. Like he was a scrawny, like athletic kid.
It's a cigarette.
Yeah, and that was a cigarette. And I always thought that was funny. I never figured out whether or not it was just because he thought that it was size appropriate for him or whatever. But
yeah.
Let's talk about what he looked like hanging out with Extra Angsty too. That was always funny.
Oh
but
man,
he looked like my son.
I already feel like a child next to you. So I'm 5'8", so 5'5". You know, I feel bad for the people in the 5'5" to 5'6" area because 30 length inseams, you got to cuff your shit. I'm sorry, I barely make the cut at 5'8". So
yeah, and he was serious. He was a stick. Like he was skinny too.
Yeah, finding 28, 29 inseams. I'm sorry, bud, you have to do that. Like my friend's husband is like tall, and he's a 35 length. He's a big old tall dude.
35, damn.
He's got long legs. He has a hell of a. He probably has a harder time. He has to order his shit online, or when he goes overseas, he gets shit custom made. But
yeah.
No, not for no. Maganosh said just for me. No. You ain't. Cute.
All right, boys, let's call it. We're rambling at this point.
Hey, they're eating it up.
I got
the ratings. Think about the ratings.
Yeah, right. Remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/food needs cash money.
Patreon. What other shit are they using? We got a Patreon for the pod eaters. So for every pod that you eat, don't do that shit. Yeah, all those. Like, subscribe, click the little bell.
Click the bell. All right. Thank you very much for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. Massey's got something to bring us out, but until next week, we will talk to you soon. Peace.
Adios, brotatos.
You.